I mean,
awesome.
Occasionally I have a glass of soda. I might get a little belchy, but that's not what I'm going for.
That is actually someone on the team that had that belt.
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah.
Well, that's an exclusive worldwide reveal. Someone from the team
We won't
belched.
mention their
Sorry,
name.
were we supposed
Save
to
them some embarrassment.
hold that back?
But let's talk about glory kills. Where did the idea come from, and how do they work?
The idea really came again from that animatic that our animation team came up with. There was some as we had kind of worked on some previous iterations of Doom. The melee was an important part, but the minute we went to the speed that we currently have, you get in these situations where you close the distance very quickly, always, so you're in these arenas, and in this, you saw there's enemies behind you, there's enemies in front of you, and you're constantly moving. So we needed something that in this push forward space allowed you to really quickly and efficiently and in a very Doom style finish these close quarters combat engagements. So the animation team, it's a lot of animation that goes into it. So I'm glad that they're the ones that came up with it. Otherwise, that we'd be dumping a lot of work on them that somebody else came up with. But one little quick note on that Mancubus death, you'll notice that moment of sinking and jamming the heart down his throat. That is a very quick sync animation, but we kind of pulled away for dramatic effect and watched it so that you could see it. But in the course of the game, a lot of times you do that and then you're off onto the next enemy and he's blowing up or the animation is finishing. So we don't force you into watching all that stuff. We really focus on keeping the game fluid and fast.
So it's there to reward you visually if you want to watch it, but if you want to keep moving, you can keep moving. And there's tons of them, right? Or
Yeah, well, you're rewarded too because you get more health, more supplies when you glory kill.
Right.
Currently.
Yeah, there's for general glory kills, we have very strict time limits on how long they can last because they're hundreds of milliseconds just because you want to keep the player moving. Yeah.
So you really thought through, never interrupt the action, make it a visual treat, but never interrupt the action and always find a reason for it in the game.
When Robert talks about rhythm, in action films, Jackie Chan has a great comment about how it's not so much about the action as it is the rhythm, the sounds of the hits. So when you're flying through and you shotgun a guy and you come in, it's like bam, 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 and you're just out,
Right.
And we kind of critique them like that. I mean, the animators have a very good sense of, you could just feel when it's wrong because it doesn't have that rhythm. You're there for too long. Again, you're rewarded for it, so you're inspired to do it. So it's not just purely for the visual sake of it. And also, it inspires you to move forward because you're like, well, if I want to go do this thing. I mean, I'm obsessed with it. I do it constantly. People have labeled me a glory kill fiend at the office.
It's like this hit of adrenaline every time you do it. You really can't, we can describe it, but you don't feel that until you play it. But we say it like it's fun because you kind of become your own fight choreographer in these arena spaces, and they're contextual. So depending on kind of where you're looking on the enemy, again, to keep the fluidity of it. When you're looking down, it chooses an animation that's low on the guy, so it all feels very fluid. So if you're kind of in a fight, there's a guy behind you, but you stagger a guy in front of you, I'll sometimes like sweep around the back side of him so I can get a view of what's ahead of me, and then I'll do my glory kill and then come back around and take on the guys with my gun. So
it's all part of that chess game. Exactly.
Yeah, it's very it's very cool.